Okay, so it's 4th of July, 2021, and at this point, we've sort of regained some sense of new normal, you know? Most people that I knew and that I was around were vaccinated, people were throwing barbecues, everyone was feeling more safe and felt more ease of moving around, so we definitely took advantage of that. There were so many barbecues and parties happening that day, there were so many people we hadn't seen in so long, so we sort of party hopped throughout the day. It was so much fun. But I will say, leading up to 4th of July, Ruff had been complaining of a sharp pain in his lungs. And it wasn't constant, but it was sort of like popping up randomly, and he would bring it up and then it would subside and then we would change the subject and move on, you know? And so cut back to 4th of July, we end up getting home pretty late, maybe around 10 or 11. We're exhausted. We had been driving all around LA all day. And we go to bed, and at 2 a.m., I'm woken up by Ruff moaning, just like out of sheer pain and discomfort. And I was shocked and scared, and I did not know what was going on. Like, I didn't know what to do. I had never been in this situation before. And I was like, do I need to call 911? Do I need to take you to the ER? Like, how are you feeling? And he just didn't know what was up. He didn't know. All he knew was that he could barely breathe, and he was in a lot of pain. Every time he took a breath, it was a super sharp pain. And so we ended up going to the ER. We got to the ER around like 2:30. We didn't get seen until 5 a.m. and we were there until about 9 a.m. He ended up being diagnosed with pneumonia, and the doctors prescribed him medication. We went and picked that up, got some food, went home, and knocked out. Okay? We really knocked out. I got a phone call around 1 p.m. Now, I'm a hard sleeper, and I keep my phone on vibrate, so I have no clue how I heard it, but I did. And I answered the phone with the groggiest voice ever.
Good news? Nuh-uh. You did this? Hey! For real?
Yeah, so crazy.
What, like?
Are you filming me?
I am filming you.
I feel like I look high and drunk, but it's because I literally was in REM sleep because we were at the ER all night. But I am excited. Got the house.
It's lit.
That's so crazy. I'm very happy.
There you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
There are so many things that can go wrong or go awry during a house buying process that, while I was excited, I was still managing my expectations. Excited, but with hesitancy. We were moving forward though, so that was good. All right, you guys, so it is July 12th and escrow is officially opening today. It's been 1 week since they accepted my offer, and so within this past week, my loan had to be confirmed and go through. The two lenders had to talk and chat and get on one page, make sure that that lender believed that I'd be able to handle the payments for this house. The agent working on the other side, working with the seller, hasn't been that great with communication, so with some back and forth, we finally got the corrected counter from them on Sunday, so that was yesterday. I signed that bad boy and escrow is officially open. Tomorrow is the inspection. I'm doing a general inspection and a moisture and mold inspection in the house. I'm gonna be going to that in person, so I'll bring you with me. One step closer to getting this house. This is a 30-day give or take escrow. I pretty much just need to be on my best behavior financially for the next month and a half so that I can close securely and get those keys. Still just I'm trying not to get my hopes up because again, anything can happen in escrow, so. Things are getting real though, actually.
So next up, what you have to do is you basically have to wire over the money, just to open the deposit. So it's that 3%.
Okay.
The rest of the money's not gonna be due until obviously when we close and stuff. So it's $13,500.
Okay.
So, technically it has to be wired over, or at least show proof that you wired it. If it's done before 2, it'll actually hit their account and everything then. If not, it won't hit till tomorrow, but that's just how you have to do it in order to be able to go in and do inspections. So it just has to be done before we go to the inspections tomorrow.
Oh, got you. So I need to go wire the money today, basically. Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you. Bye. Today before 2 p.m. I have to go wire 3% of the down payment. You know, I've heard a lot that escrow is very much hurry up and wait. I didn't realize that I was gonna go have to do that today. So gotta rearrange some things and make sure that I can go get that handled. It has to be done before inspections tomorrow, so I can't play around. So remember earlier when I said that I was managing my expectations? That pretty much means that even if you get into escrow, you can still fall out of escrow and have to start the process all over again, and that happens to a lot of people actually. I was hesitantly moving forward, and for those of you unfamiliar with the process or what escrow is, I definitely was at first. Escrow is basically a third party that holds any money that you put down on the property. They hold it there until the end of the process, until everything closes. So at first I had to put down the 3% of the down payment that I was gonna put down on the house. That went to escrow. And so they watch that 3%, they keep a close eye on your finances and your accounts while you're, completing all the other steps to getting this house. And during this period of time, you can't make any large purchases, you can't move any large amounts of money around in different accounts. They're really zeroing in on your finances. And if you do any of those things while you're in escrow, you could be flagged and there could be issues. So I did a 30-day escrow period, but there can be, 45-day escrow periods, 60-day escrow periods. It all depends on what you agree on with the seller. Next, I had to get the house inspected. I am here with the owner and the inspectors, and we're gonna see what kind of condition this house is in. I don't know how much I'll be able to show you guys, but I'll try my best. A general home inspection can cover everything from the home's heating and cooling system, to the plumbing, to the insulation, to the electrical system, all those types of things. I also got a moisture inspection just to make sure there were no moldy walls. Everyone say hello to my fantastic real estate agent or realtor. Is it the same? Is it the same? Same thing. She's the best. Call her.
So I do my own visual inspection. So anything that I see that could be like marks on the wall or nicks or cracks or anything like that, I would just note it. And then I'll send you over a document that's basically like an AVID is what it's called. So it's an agent visual inspection disclosure. And then you kind of just say, yeah, I agree, or no, I don't agree, or whatever the case is. But it's just making sure that we check off all the boxes ourselves and say, this is how the house was. Because 3 days before closing, you'll do one last inspection that's called a verification of property. And we just want to make sure that it looks the same way as when you put in the offer and when you purchase. So that we don't come through and then there's like X's on the walls or marks somewhere that, wasn't there when we first.
So all of the inspections are complete.
Yes.
What did we learn, Ashley?
So sewer, check, no issues. Mold and moisture, no issues. General inspection, it actually went really, really well. There were some minor things, but if you ever have a general inspection and you have nothing at all, then that's actually kind of weird because that means the inspector probably didn't do their job. So the things that we found are very just generic stuff. So overall, she has a good house.
Yay! It's getting closer, you guys. Success! So exciting. Now, if the inspection had not gone well and I found out there was some large issue with the house, like it needed a whole new foundation or something like that, then I would have had to sit down with myself and figure out if it was worth moving forward. Because, I'm already paying for this house, and then if I'm having to pretty much pay like equivalent of the down payment for all these repairs, I would have, had to figure out if that's something that I wanted to take on. A lot of times people will get offers accepted, go into escrow, do the inspection, find out the house is in horrible condition, and then, pull out and start the house hunting process all over again. Thankfully, that was not the case for me, but it does happen a lot. And so that was a concern that was sort of thrown away after this inspection was done. Now, the tough thing about my escrow agreement was that I told them that I could do a 30-day escrow, and they responded with a counter and said that my escrow closing was going to be dependent or contingent on the seller's closing escrow on whatever new house they found. They were actually still house hunting when they accepted my offer, so things were a little bit touch and go. They basically didn't want my escrow to close, and theirs hasn't closed yet on their new house, because then they would have just not had a place to live if something happened with escrow with the new house. That was stressful because, again, I had been dealing with the house hunting process and getting outbid and, not getting offers accepted, and they were going through the same thing. And so I was like, wow. So basically, if they can't make it work, I'm out of luck. Like, I just won't be able to move into this house. weeks would pass. We would be getting, you know, various updates on, you know, oh, they put in an offer for this house, and then, you know, once they would hear back, they would let us know. So they kept getting outbid, and the market is tough, and so I understood it, but it was still really heart-wrenching, just kind of like sitting on the edge of my seat the entire time, hoping that they'd be able to find a house. The final offer they put in, you know, the sellers were getting really frustrated, and my real estate agent spoke with their real estate agent, and they told us that if this offer didn't get accepted on this house that they really wanted, that they were just going to stay in the house that they currently had, and they would refund me my inspection money. What? Hi, friends. Okay, so I'm in escrow right now. It's been an interesting ride. Everything is smoothed out. It looks like things are moving forward, and it looks like I will be getting the keys in a couple of weeks.
It's lit.
So we are. So we are at the house right now to do some measuring. I wanted to show you guys, just, you know, use a visual for measuring tape, but this guy just tried to pull my leg and say that he forgot the measuring tape, which you are not about to measure my forehead.
3.5 inches.
So we went back to take some measurements just to get a feel for the size of the furniture that we were looking at, any additional changes we wanted to let the contractor know about. We just wanted to get a little bit more info on the house itself. Thanks, babe, for measuring. So remember that final offer I told you about that the sellers were putting in? Lord Jesus, they got it. Ooh, it really got accepted, and this was just all I was hoping for. And it happened. It was a slow process, but it happened. I was trying to be in escrow for 30 days. By the time we were actually able to like fully move forward, like I had been in escrow for 2 months at this point. Just sitting in escrow. Can't do anything with my money. Can't buy anything big, just can't do anything. I'm just tied up in escrow for 2 months versus 30 days. So I just got to the escrow hub. I'm about to sign my life away. I'm signing all of the remaining final paperwork and signing the notary and hopefully getting the title changed. And once this all is processed in a few days, and once I pay the rest of the remaining balance of what I owe, I get the keys and the house is mine. I decided to go to the actual escrow hub office to sign all my paperwork versus having them drop the paperwork off at home, just so I could have someone to help me out. Anything I didn't understand. This is like a really big deal. This is a really big purchase. It's a lot of money, okay? So I just want to make sure I'm understanding every single thing that's going on, and so I'm not like shocked or, you know, bamboozled or confused with like a surprise, you know, fee or something like that. I just want to make sure that like I'm understanding. We'll see. I don't know what to expect, but hopefully it's not too crazy of a process. And I'm leaving the escrow hub, and I have filled out all my paperwork. I've signed my life away. I feel like there's so many forms to sign. I highly recommend, if you're buying a house, to go into the actual office to have someone walk you through all the paperwork. The other option was to just have someone drop the paperwork off, and then I would have been responsible for like reading and understanding every single form, and there's just like, this is how thick the stack is. And so I was like, nah, let me just get some help. This is my first time doing this, and she was really helpful, told me what each form was, broke it down while I also read it, and everything is signed. And now the only thing left to do is go send the rest of the funds so that the house can be so close to be officially mine. So I'm very happy. All right, so I am on my way to the house. I'm meeting a potential contractor there. He's gonna give me a few estimates on some of the renovation wants that I have. There's a few things that I want to do to the house. Change the floors, completely change the kitchen, a couple bathrooms upstairs. There's some stuff I want to do, but I need to get prices so I can figure out what's actually feasible for my pockets. So technically I should have keys by Wednesday the 1st, but you know, there's always twists and turns with this process, so who knows? But I'm moving forward like everything is normal, and I am getting keys on the 1st. So now that we're all moving forward officially, I wanted to explore making some changes in this house. So this house is technically turnkey when we moved in, and that pretty much means it didn't really need any updates. The sellers had already updated the place, including changing the floors, painting the walls. They updated the kitchen and they updated both of the bathrooms. And so they had done a lot of work on the house, but it wasn't my style. So why not make some changes, eh? I wanted to change a lot of things. I wanted to change the floors. I wanted to change the paint on the walls. I wanted to add recessed lighting upstairs. I wanted to get a new staircase railing. I wanted to curve some archways. I mean, I could go on and on and on, because this is my shit. But also, I've never done this before, so I had no clue how much any of this would realistically cost. So I did a walkthrough with a contractor to sort of get an idea and gauge on if it was even possible for me to do all these changes or what I could actually afford to do.
So it would be also the bathrooms.
Okay.
Upstairs, the bathrooms, may want to do tile, but we'll talk about that when we get upstairs. So in terms of pricing, I know it depends on what I end up choosing, like what flooring I choose, but for the labor, I was curious what you think that might run.
Look for the floor and you can look another stuff too.
Yeah, that'd be great. The whole apartment is 1,237 square feet, but it'll be less than that because some of the rooms will be tiled.
Okay.
About floors throughout, we talked about staircase railing that I want to switch out, and then the door in this powder room I wanted to come out. I don't like that it opens inside.
Come this way.
Yeah, I want to
switch the
come.
hinges.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then, so for kitchen, white subway tile, and you don't do any type of cabinetry, you said?
No cabinet.
No cabinet stuff, right? So it would be the backsplash,
Backsplash,
countertops.
tile, the backsplash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just so far to the other side of the spectrum of what my style is.
I mean, it's very, very messy. Yeah.
We're men! And like my couch is pink.
Yeah. That's
You know what I mean? It's just that's how...
So wait, are you bringing the pink out?
No.
Oh, okay. But just in general.
But just in general, if that's what
you.
Yeah, that's me. I did it on Friday when I sent my money. I was like, okay,
How do you
now
feel
it's
about
time
the
to...
bank? Like, whew.
It was honestly the freakiest experience ever. I was like, I cannot believe.
But like, think about it. I feel like when we first talked, it was maybe like a year ago. And you were like, they said I can't buy a house and this can't happen. I'm like, no, you can buy a house. You will buy a house.
Honestly though, I'm truly like, without Matt and Justin, I just don't know if this would have you know what I mean? It's just because they have so much power. Like the lenders have so much power.
Yeah,
Like,
they really do. And that's why I like a broker over a lender. And it's a huge, huge difference if people don't understand it, because if you don't know, you don't know, right?
Yeah.
But you go to a Bank of America, they just say, oh no, it doesn't work. Or you qualify for $100,000, good luck, go buy a house in Oklahoma. Here, I feel like dealing with a broker, they know who will take what file, they know who will approve what. So their job is just to package it and then say, okay, we're good to go.
Yeah.
And they've never gotten to a point where it's like, oh no, we were wrong, this isn't gonna work. It's always like, if we think you can go here, we can get it done.
Yeah.
That's good.
So the consultation went well. I would suggest you talk to more than one contractor if you're going into this type of project. It's just good to have different people, get various prices, get various timelines, really just so that you can compare and make the smartest decision. I ended up only doing one consultation with one contractor. I had another one scheduled, but that ended up falling through. But the contractor I found was through a recommendation, and I had seen his work before, and I really loved it, and was told by my friend who had used his services before that everything was great quality, nothing was, botched or weird. So I felt pretty good moving forward, and plus everything was within my budget that I wanted to do. So I was pretty elated. Finally, your girl got the keys. So I'm here to measure, and I am also picking up the keys. Finally, I'm so happy. Clarice, this is our new little home. Wow.
For you, baby, because you deserve it. through all the ups and downs of this home search, this home journey. So you deserve all the bubbly that your body can handle, baby. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, babe.
Y'all, this home buying process was a wild one. Like, I really have no other way to describe it besides wild, but I learned so much. I learned patience, I learned to strengthen my faith, and I learned just a ton about the home buying process. I would say overall, it was very, very successful. Also, my realtor, Ashley G, is a fellow Howard University graduate, and it was just, can't even describe. I mean, besides amazing. It was amazing having a Black woman advocating for me and making sure that I was able to achieve my goal of home ownership, and also just making sure that I didn't fall. Like, you know, any of my dumb questions, she answered with grace. She was so kind, and I will never be able to repay her for really, you know, pushing this whole process across the finish line. I also have to thank my loan brokers, Matt and Justin. They were amazing. And Ashley, Matt, and Justin were like a little dream team of hope and success and execution. Like, they told me that they were gonna get this done for me back in 2020. And look, they delivered on their promise. I hope your takeaway is that you too can do this. Like, I'm single, I live very far from my family, and I did very much feel like a fish out of water during this process. But, you know, I stuck with it and I did it. I would love to say that this is my, you know, biggest accomplishment of 2021, but I feel like it's pretty up there and just like in general, right? Just like life accomplishments, it is very much up there for me. I feel really good. This is something I've wanted for a really long time, and thank y'all so much for your support along the way. And I just really, really, really appreciate this like pillar of virtual friendship. It's truly valuable, and it really does just fill me up. So thank y'all so much. Here's an empty house tour and renovation updates coming soon.
Have the patio. This is my favorite.